Hello, I'm your superhero critic. It is the summer of 2014, and I have decided to dedicate the entire summer to one specific company that has produced countless superhero movies and TV shows throughout the years. I'm talking, of course, about Disney. So, to start my Disney movie thon off, growing up in the 90s, there is one specific cartoon that everybody knew the specific theme song to. No. I am not talking about DuckTales. Although that show was awesome growing up, it's not the show I'm talking about. This is the show I'm talking about. Yes, that's right. Inspector Gadget, the awesome cartoon about a bumbling cyborg cop, his niece Penny, her dog Brain, and the villainous Dr. Claw. While many people love the show with a passion, I have yet to meet a single solitary person who actually liked the 1999 piece of garbage that Disney slapped the Inspector Gadget name on and tried to pass it off as a really good movie. So, without further ado, because I have probably bored you to death by now, let's dive into this piece of go-go gadget horseshit. The movie begins with lead actor Matthew Broderick, and what we are made to believe is his life as he strolls down the street. A bus goes wild and he saves a bunch of kids from being hit, as well as stopping the bus. Of course, it just turns out that John Brown was only dreaming, and he's awakened by Brain and Penny, played by one of my 90s crushes, Michelle Trachtenberg. Hey! She's legal now! Niece and uncle discuss John's disappointment in himself that he's a security guard and not a real cop. Penny reassures him that she does not care. What the fuck kind of transition was that? It doesn't even make sense. It's just like, BAM! Right in your fucking face. It's like if I put a random 1970s or that 70s show montage dance thing in the middle of a fucking sentence. We jump to the female love interest of the movie, Brenda, and her father, who are going over their gadget invention of a mechanical foot. They learn that it will only move through willpower and not mind power. We move the foot! Wait, so if they're the ones that made the foot, shouldn't they know how it works based on the technology that they create the foot with? I'm sorry, but to me that just sounds kind of stupid. While John is working on trying to fail at flirting with Brenda, a black van driven by who we assume is Dr. Claw's minion drives into the side of the building. The mechanical foot is foot-napped and Brenda's father is injured. John makes a vow to bring justice to whoever did it to them as he chases after the van. This leads to him driving onto an oil slick and smashing into a Yahoo billboard. Two things right here that pisses me off. First, nice way for product placement on Yahoo's part, and I did not edit that clip at all. That Yahoo stupid sound effect is actually in the movie. Stupid as fuck. Number two, why the goddamn fuck is Dr. Claw's face not in the fucking shadows? If you watch the goddamn cartoon, his face never leaves the shadows. Why, Disney, would you take something that original, which is what made Dr. Claus so awesome, because you never knew what he looked like, you never knew who he actually was. Nope, we're just gonna let him out of the fucking scene 10 minutes into the goddamn movie. Anger on Dr. Claus' face being seen aside, after much annoying and unfunny banter and jokes, Dr. Claus throws a cigar in the gasoline line and blows up a defenseless man. But a bowling ball plays the role of karma. As Penny visits her uncle in the hospital, the mayor and Brenda decide that it's John who will undergo the surgery to become a robotic cyborg. The surgery comes complete with corny cartoon sound effects after corny sound effects aside the Gadget theme song. Okay, I understand you're putting working parts into his body and all this other crap, but why do you need all the cartoon fucking sound effects? He doesn't even have those types of sound effects in the actual cartoon. So why are they needed? It's pointless. That's like me getting slapped in the face and a fucking sound effect happens. The hell? What the f? John finally wakes up and his body starts to malfunction as a missile shoots out of his foot and flies through the hospital. He then runs into Brenda, who tries to calm him down and explains what happens to him. Meanwhile, Claw and his stooges try to figure out why their machine won't work. We learn that the main piece to Gadget's hardware is called... Brenda then gives Gadget his manual and he gains the iconic wardrobe. Training montage where we see Brenda trying to teach him how to use his gadgets and we get our first mistake.
Go Gadget oil slick.
Not oil, it's too big!
First off, why in God's fucking name would he even need that type of weapon in a fucking battle? Are you kidding me? Unless he's doing it to distract his opponent, which first off would be completely stupid. There's no point for it. Give him an actual oil slick that's actually useful. And second off, who the fuck's gonna clean that all up? Our next set of training is trying to teach him how to use his extendo arms, but his trainer ends up on the wrong side of things. Brenda then shows Gadget his new Gadget-mobile, complete with camouflage and its own personality.
In the car, I work alone.
Okay, insert obvious racist joke here. Why do you have to make the car black? After the car and Gadget finish arguing over who's in charge, Gadget foolishly helps two escaped prisoners break into a car. He eventually apprehends both criminals, only after, once again, not knowing how his own gadgets work. At the ball, Brenda and Claw get reacquainted as they used to go to college together. Gadget doesn't trust him, so he begins to snoop around using his extendo ear. Gadget and Brenda speak about what she plans on doing now that the Gadget program has worked. Gadget learns the hard way that he is not going to get any big cases. What a surprise. Another superhero movie that makes the superhero shunned by those who he works with. Typical. Gadget goes into the precinct and demands that he be put on the Bradford case, but to no avail. Claw then reveals his new master plan of making an evil Robo-Gadget.
What are you going to do now?
I'm gonna kick some butt.
Damn, I was hoping to go to Disney World. Gadget snags the case file for the Bradford case and ends up looking at the chip in the evidence bag. With the help of Penny in an ironically placed truck, Gadget figures out the clue.
Skolex Industries.
Gadget goes to warn Brenda about what's going on with Skolex. Gadget then proceeds into stealth mode as he tries to recapture the Robofoot, which doesn't end well. Brenda learns through the most annoying robot on the planet that Skolex has the foot. Dr. Claw then torments the inspector as he reveals that he wants the world to own only his androids and nobody else's. Claw then takes the chip to keep Gadget working, and Robo-Gadget torments the town. Even in a movie that is not about Godzilla, Matthew Broderick still finds a way to destroy Godzilla. Brenda and Penny find Gadget in a junk site, and through a bullshit excuse for reasoning, Gadget somehow miraculously comes back to life. Okay, do not give me that bullshit. He had the heart all along. He never needed the chip to actually work properly. No, if his body is made out of cybernetic parts, he still needs that chip to function properly. Just like Superman, you give him kryptonite, he no longer has power. Still the same thing. You take his chip away, he no longer functions. Just like with Cyborg, it would happen the same way. Bite me! The hero chases villain around the city, and it eventually turns into Gadget versus Gadget as they fight on the bridge. Brenda chases Skullix, who in turn captures her, and the fight between gadgets eventually ends as the inspector pulls the plug on evil.
This isn't funny!
Gadget catches up with Dr. Claw, and he fights for his and Brenda's life. As he gets caught on the copter recalling his training, he somehow hits the button to screw up Claw's control on the copter. As they fall towards death, he shouts out gadget after gadget, eventually using an umbrella to save their lives. They finally get a little time alone, but don't quite make it to the kiss. I wonder if Inspector Gadget is thinking right now, go Gadget vibrator. To finish the movie, Skullix gets arrested, Gadget finally gets respect from the chief, and after some fireworks, the credits roll. Thank you. I actually sat through. It's go Gadget. Peace out.
Hello, and welcome to Robo-Brenda Aerobics, where I'll be your host.
What the fuck? Why would you put that at the end of the credits? No one wants to see more of this movie.
My name is Sykes. Hi. And I'm a minion. But it's been
Motherfucker! Let me end my fucking torture!
Hey, thanks for watching my movie. Yeah, my movie. Even though we called it Inspector
enough. While we do capture the corniness of what the original cartoon gave us, the original show was 10 times better than the movie. Revealing Dr. Claw's face made me and a lot of Gadget fans hate the movie, and the movie has way too many adult-oriented jokes and sexual tones for a child's movie. And to top it all off, we get really good actors doing subpar acting and a plot line that has been seen over and over again. While this movie is not as shitty as a lot of other movies like Catwoman and Batman and Robin, it's still one of those superhero movies I wish I could forget. And with that being said, I have a lot more Disney movies I have to review. So, without further ado, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay... Doorbell. I should get that. Who the hell is at my door? Y'all love my Batman pajamas. Reaper Rob, what do you want?
I don't know what the fuck this is, but here you go.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so apparently I'm doing possible. Rob, how do you do that? Anyway, I highly doubt this is gonna explode. Damn you, Rob! Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and welcome to my Summer of Disney. What do you get when you cross a cheerleader, a bumbling sidekick obsessed with nachos, and a naked mole rat? Thank you! Can I have my hearing back? And you would be...
I'm Fairy Tale Girl, and you're about to do a review of Kim Possible without me?
Wait, Fairy Tale Girl? Wouldn't that insinuate that you review fairy tales? Kim Possible kinda doesn't fit.
I don't care. I'm here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is Kim Possible Stitch in Time. The movie starts with Kim and company at cheerleading practice. You can never go wrong with cheerleading practice.
Unless you're a cheerleader, then practice sucks. We then go into Ron being happy about having the same classes as Kim until they get to Ron's house, and then they find out the bad news.
I'm moving?
That's right, Ron Stoppable is moving. But where is he moving to?
Norway?
Norway!
Yep, Ron Stoppable is moving to Norway. And if there's anything that Steven Spielberg has taught us about Norway, it's one thing.
What's that?
Hula girls! Hula girls! Hula girls!
Of course, it all adds up. I've somehow landed in Norway.
You're just mad you didn't think of that.
As Ron gets set to move away, the duo decide they're going to try to make the long-distance superhero thing work. Kim gave Ron a parting gift.
The duo then say their goodbyes.
It's so sad.
Are you okay?
I will be.
Okay, I'll just be over here. After Ron wakes Kim up due to the time difference, Wade alerts her of a robbery in progress by Monkey Fist, which she quickly captures. Dove Gilligan shows up and Kim handles her own before Shigo and Draken show up. They lock her in a sarcophagus before stealing a headless monkey statue. Ron shows up and we learn a little bit of information about the statue.
Unspeakable. Monkey shines? Evil.
Can I do the joke? Can I do the joke? Can I do the joke? Can I do the joke?
Fine, what do you have?
I do believe the statue is... As Kim and Ron try to figure things out via a comlink, the villains argue over the power of the statue and it begins to clap the closer it gets to its head. Wade lets Kim know what is going on as she enlists Monique to help her since Ron won't be of any help. As the villains fight over who's going to get the monkey head. The heroes and villains go head to head as the villains eventually overpower Kim and they get away with the head.
Good guys, 0.
This time it's off to Africa at the temple Tempia Simia, where Ron actually makes it there on time. Kim and Ron try to stop the villains from putting the statue together, but alas, the villains finally win one over, and the power of the monkey brings forth a portal, and Draken gives Kim a farewell warning. As Ron and Kim decide to no longer try the long-distance crime fighting, Kim puts together the Latin word of Tempesima. A portal appears behind her, and a giant talking Rufus walks out, alerting that Draken and the villains are going back in time, ruins the time stream, and gives her a way to travel through time. We then learn that Draken's plans will be as villains are turned into toddlers. In the past, the three villains torment Little Kim and try to crush her spirit as Shigo and present-day Kim fight in the parking lot. Young Ron saves young Kim from the villains before they activate the monkey and disappear through time. Ron and Kim eventually meet for the first time.
You're weird, but I like you.
Hey, superhero critic!
Yeah?
You're weird, but I like you.
Thanks, I think.
Draken's new plan is to crush her spirit by sabotaging her first mission, which is called on a rich guy who installed a new lethal laser security to protect his plush collection. Ron runs into the school gym to alert Kim of the site hit after she makes a squad.
Sorry, I'll never ever ditch again. I swear.
That is a lie. After using a young Rufus to get into the rich man's house, we witness Kim's first heroic act. Monkey Fist appears from the time travel and brings in a giant gorilla statue to attack everyone. Present-day Kim shows up to protect herself. Future Shigo tells
her past self to grab the monkey statue, and Ron shows up in the past to help save the day by doing what he does best and pushes a button he shouldn't push.
No!
The group find out that it is in fact Shigo that is the Supreme One and not Draken, which, by the way, should have been obvious. Her and Ron decide to take the fight to her by going into the future. They quickly get attacked by drones. They run into a clothing store to gain clothes to not alert anybody else, only for Ron to learn that the worst has happened to his favorite restaurant.
In her mad quest for power, she destroyed Bueno Nacho.
Not the Bueno Nacho!
You okay?
I'll be fine.
The duo gets taken to the high school, now turned into an attitude-changing facility, and after a quick video on how things will be for them, their brain scans almost get them in trouble until...
Eat hot plasma, Supreme One Stooges!
That's right, Jim and Tim are part of the Resistance and bring with them an army of naked mole rats to set Kim and Ron free. The twins give the update on what's wrong with the future, and we meet the Resistance leader, who happens to be Wade. The Resistance quickly go over plans on how they'll get past Shigo's defenses, and they decide to go into the sewers and run into Monkey Fist and an army of monkey ninjas.
You're way outnumbered, dude.
Am I?
I'm sorry, but just saying, an army of evil monkeys would be fucking awesome.
Yes, it would.
The group then runs into Duff, who has become a cyborg. Tim, Jim, and Wade stay behind to take out Duff. Kim and Ron come face to face with Shigo and Draken, who basically become Bane from Batman.
Hey, it's my job to make the superhero references.
Too late.
Oh, you bitch. As the three groups fight each other, Kim is overpowered by Super Draken and tied to a chair. Monique shows up in the nick of time and saves her life. The other two groups overpower Monkey Fist and Duff, or so they thought. Monique and Kim go head-to-head with Draken, who overpowers them, and the villains begin to win, and Ron slips out of his shirt and goes for the statue.
No touching my monkey.
Can't blame a guy for trying.
Actually, I can.
During her gloating speech, we learn that Shigo is one who's responsible for splitting the team up, which majorly pisses off Ron, and in his rage, Ron breaks the time monkey, setting everything back the way it was.
No way. Way.
Yes, it
Time
would.
monkey?
You're weird, but I like you. I do the joke and I do the joke and I do the joke.
Steven Spielberg has taught us about Norway is one thing.
I'm Fairy Tale Girl and you're about to do the Duo of Kim Possible without.
I couldn't save the world without you.
Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and welcome to my summer of... Wait. Didn't we already do this?
I think so. I don't remember.
Well, I don't have enough time, so let's just skip to the end, okay?
Well, the only other thing that happens is the duo gets a feeling of deja vu before the credits roll.
So there you go. Kim Possible, Stitch and Time. Well scripted, great voice acting, and an awesome movie to an already awesome series.
Hey, superhero critic.
Yeah?
You know there are 2 movies, right?
So let me guess, you're gonna make me go through both of them.
Yep.
Great. I'm your superhero critic.
And I'm Fairy Tale Girl.
Join us next time for Kim Possible, So the Drama. We'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. I wonder who I can get to help me with my next review. I know.
Yes, cocksucker.
I was wondering if you wanted to help me with my next movie review.
Oh god, what?
Kim Possible, So the Drama.
No! I fucking hate that show. Why would you even think? Like, are you stupid?
I have ice cream?
You better have fucking ice cream, bitch.
This is Kim Possible, so the drama.
So the three-parter starts in Japan as Shigo releases a green smog over the city. Kim bursts through a balloon, quickly ninja kicks ass as Ron stumbles out of the other balloon and comes face to face with a sumo ninja.
Sumo ninja?
I am strong like the mountain.
And you need liposuction. Shigo flies in and kidnaps the president of a toy company while Kim and Monique bitch about girl problems. Typical Ron bumblingly saves the day.
As Kim learns more about Nakasumi, Ron has fun playing with all the toys. At Draken's hideout, Draken and Shigo talk about how evil Draken really is. With that, we learn Draken latest is to get inside the head of Kim by thinking a teenage female on Draken loses a drawing.
A doodle? You are so...
Word to your mother.
That's wiggity wiggity whack, yo!
Stop it. You're white.
But
No, just stop.
Fine. At cheerleading practice, Bonnie insults Kim for not having a boyfriend and not having a date for the prom.
Ooh, it's a fucking popularity contest where everybody is dressed like retards and the little bitches are dressed all like sluts and have their titties hanging out. Yeah. Totally awesome.
I actually had 2 proms, both of which I was stood up at.
Wow, really?
Unfortunately, 100% true. But what do you get when you dress up like a superhero and you're a giant comic?
Sorry. I love you?
I don't care!
Monique and Kim bounce back and forth on why guys don't want to be with her. Ron finds out that Bueno Nacho has been bought up and his usual Nacho Day is no longer being promoted. Back to Draken, where we see him meeting up a high-up villain at a club, and him and Ron sneak into the room. Shigo quickly starts a fight with Kim as Ron plays a poker game scared for his life. Draken gets all the information he needs, learning it's Kim's dad who has the villains quickly make their escape with Draken's usual threat.
You think you're all that, but you're not even close.
Part 2 starts at school with Ron talking to Kim about signing petition for getting Nako Night back, while Kim shows depression that Ron mistakes her for being upset over messing up with Draken. Back at home, Kim talks to her mom about the whole Ron being friend zone but not knowing if she wants more situation. Ron meets the new kid Eric, who makes it clear he likes Kim from first glance. Ron tries to make it certain that Ron and Kim are just friends.
You know, I think that they're lying to themselves about how much they actually like each other. Gross.
That is the poison of the friend zone.
Ron goes to join Kim at the lunch table and Eric swoops in and we see Ron get majorly jealous super fast.
I feel as though a loop has just been formed and I'm not in it.
Yeah, and if Ron has no feelings for Kimmy whatsoever, I'm fucking Batman.
You know, they're probably gonna have to admit that they're gonna end up bumping uglies. What do you think?
Well, what happens next is probably gonna make a tear or two come through. Because we then get a depressing montage of Kim and Eric getting closer as Ron is left in the dust.
Oh, you poor little thing. Did you ever fucking think it's because you're a fucking ugly ass dweeb and you have a naked fucking mole rat? Who the fuck is a naked goddamn mole rat? Mole rat. They live in the ground. They're nasty. They're blind. This motherfucker. You know what? Fuck it. I like the mole rat. The mole rat's cool. His name's Rufus. Rufus? Rufus. Yeah, Rufus.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
While Kim's dad works on his project, Draken breaks in and demands his face this project. In return, he deletes the information, but Draken still captures him anyways. While Ron is learning that the future of Bueno Nacho will include kids' meals and play places, he gets paged from Kim for the 911 that Draken has Kim's dad. They then go to save her dad, only to be ambushed by robot drones, which, again, she quickly disposes of in time to save her father from the goop.
At least I think so.
What exactly did Draken do to you?
I have no idea.
He kept...
When will villains ever learn you need to stay and make sure the hero is actually dead? Leaving them is just gonna give them the opportunity to escape.
The next day, Bueno Nacho craze sweeps the world as the new toy Little Diablo debuts and makes kids go crazy. Ron flips out on TV and Kim and Ron reminisce about their lives in their old treehouse before Eric asks Kim to the prom. While Ron gets ready to tell Kim how he feels, but then decides to go to Bueno Nacho instead, and he ends up getting a cryptic message from the worker there.
Ron flips out over Bueno Nacho no longer carrying bendy straws. Through Wade's help, he makes a call to the head honcho, and the audience learns that Draken owns Bueno Nacho now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Part 3 opens up with Ron being attacked by hundreds of little Diablos, and the chase begins and ends at the prom where the toys disappear and everyone, including Kim, thinks Ron is making things up.
After a little bit of trying to convince Kim it's Draken, the duo ditch the prom to talk to Kim's dad, who confirms it's the Hephaestus project that Draken stole. Hugo alerts Draken that things are going by.
Let me guess, Draken's going to use Eric as capture bait.
Yep.
We then learn what the project really does.
Cybertronic circuitry can repair itself, modify itself. It can actually grow.
That's gonna end badly.
More than likely.
Get Mom and the boys at it.
Told you so. The bots and Kim start duking it out as her parents and brothers modify Ron's bike with rockets. Wade tells him if she knocks out the main signal, she could shut down the robots. Ron suggests that it's probably a Bueno Nacho, so the two make their getaway.
How do we get the rockets to go faster?
I guess that's how.
The duo then take out the signal, which is way easier than it should be, because all Kim has to do is have Ron trick the giant robot into crashing into the giant taco. Draken then takes over Kim's intercom frequency and alerts her to him having captured Eric. She runs home, grabbing an experimental suit, and heads to Bueno Nacho headquarters, where her and Ron once again meet the giant sumo ninja.
I shall be avenged!
You know, I could make your voice sound like the sumo ninjas.
Don't you fucking dare.
You motherfucker! Oh, God! I sound retarded! No! I sound retarded! Fuck you. I want to sound like high-pitched and everything. Can I kill you? Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
You sound like Alvin and the Chipmunk's stupid cousin.
I'm gonna kill you.
Please don't.
Shigo and Kim go head-to-head once again, and of course Kim eventually overpowers her. Eric looks as if he escaped, only for Kim to find out a shocking secret.
Actually, here, I'm known as Synthodrone number 901.
While tied up, Ron tries his best to cheer up a down Kim. He reminds her that there's more fish in the sea and all that love, sappy shit. With the help of Rufus, the two of them escape and interrupt Draken's gloating. Kim and Ron begin taking down Draken's forces, starting with Ericbot and Shigo. Kimmy then takes her EMP gun and shoots it. Ericbot stops the bullet from hitting the tower. Unfortunately for him, Rufus holds grudges after being insulted.
Oh no! No!
Ron finally gets his name said by Draken. Shigo gets kicked into the tower, and Draken finally been taken down. The miniseries then finally ends with Kim and Ron dancing at the prom, and the couple finally kiss.
Finally! Ron Stoppable has finally gotten out of the friend zone. Ironically, through that, it gave Disney the ability to make another season after this. But other than that, he finally got through the friend zone.
Whoa.
Where'd you get the sombrero?
Doesn't matter. Now, where's my ice cream?
About that, I actually don't have any.
Oh, really?
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Ow! 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 Oh! Ow! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
You're gonna get me ice cream.
I'm Superhero Critic. I'll say super as long as you stay awesome! Hello, I'm Peanut the Rant Man, and I'm your Superhero Critic. when it comes to comedy superhero shows, there's one cartoon from the 90s that stands out above all the rest. He is the pen that burst your bubble. He is the cheese on the pizza of justice. He is the surprise at the bottom of your cereal box. But most of all, he is the terror that flaps in the night. He is Darkwing Duck. Now, while he does not have his own movie, the mild-mannered Mallard, try saying that 5 times fast, trust me, it's hard. Mallard by day, Darkwing Duck by night is one of the biggest superhero parodies that has ever graced television. Now, since he doesn't have a movie of his own, I've decided to dive into the first 2 episodes of Darkwing Duck to give you an insight of what the show was all about. So sit back and enjoy while we get dangerous. We begin the series with an overvoice of Darkwing Duck as he brings more villains to justice and he leaves the precinct. He then comes to the realization that no one's there to actually help him celebrate his victory.
Oh, I must go. The scent of crime is in the air.
No, I don't believe anyone's there. You're just talking to the audience. See? Told you. We then see Darkwing Duck making breakfast.
Yes! A new world's record! Everything.
It's better than my way of making breakfast. DW then goes on to a rant about not getting any respect or acknowledgement for what he does, and the scene then cuts to the main villain of the two-parter, Taurus Bulba, voiced by the awesomeness that is Tim Curry. Bulba is arguing with his stooges about capturing an artifact called the Ramrod. He forces his minions to go and get it. While on stakeout, DW sees a bird flying with a suitcase in its claws. He follows it to the train, and once he realizes who the men are, he quickly shoots off his famous catchphrases.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the switch that derails your train. I am Darkwing Duck.
You know, I came up with a little bit of my own catchphrases. Let's list them off. I'm your superhero critic, and I have nothing. I'm your superhero critic, and I bust your balls while watching this video. I'm your superhero critic, and I like bologna. I'm your superhero critic and potato. I'm your superhero critic, and I have no other catchphrases, so I'll just stick with, I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. I'm kinda not good with catchphrases. The villains make their escape, but DW tags along with his grappling hook until Bulba's bird makes him crash land.
But no.
DW then meets Launchpad McQuack, who first thinks he's a pirate until he realizes who he really is. Launchpad declares himself as his biggest fan, and DW tells him about the criminals he's chasing. The two begin their chase in Pad's airplane as they start chasing the big bird until they crash into a pole. Launchpad starts groveling about being DW's sidekick.
So what do we do next? We do nothing. I work alone.
But I could be your sidekick.
Singing cowboys have sidekicks. I rely on me. Nobody but me. Got that?
See, some heroes need to learn that you could always use a partner. Why do you think I did co-ops for Batman and Robin and Supergirl? because I'm not gonna sit through a shitty movie by myself.
Bulba then learns that the Ramrod will not work without a code that Waddlemeyer has programmed into the device. Bulba is convinced that Waddlemeyer's granddaughter, Goslin, who by the way is played by Christine Cavanaugh, knows the code and sends his main stooge to kill her. We as an audience then get to meet Goslin for the first time, who is apparently an orphan. Not only is she an orphan, but she is also the troublemaker of the orphanage. Goslin then learns the hard way that the person visiting her is not a friend. DW saves her in the nick of time as a car chase begins. Our heroes end the chase by jumping into the dock. DW then gives Goslin the lowdown on what's going on, and she then promotes that they should become partners, blackmailing him in the process.
Well, I suppose I could leave, but then I might let it slip where a certain masked Avenger hangs out.
You wouldn't.
Hey, I'm a kid. I'm supposed to be irresponsible.
You know, Goslin has a really good point here. Maybe Robin should talk to Batman about that.
Part 1 then ends with Bulba deciding it's finally time to leave jail and breaking out of prison.
Well, I guess they've been making more than license plates.
Part 2 starts with DW and Goslin getting a little bit closer. As she gets ready for bed, we learn what the Ramrod really does.
I don't know. I think it makes things flow.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
DW then helps Goslin fall asleep.
Huh?
While DW figures out that Goslin's grandfather's lullaby is actually the code, Bulba sends a Morse code lighting message, and Goslin figures out that DW is humiliated by Bulba atop of a tower. Nothing is accomplished as cops tackle DW and Bulba goes after Goslin. Goslin is having a fun time herself as Bulba's men attempt to kidnap her, only for Bulba himself to do the kidnapping. Launchpad then breaks a depressed DW out of jail.
Oh, that's reverse. I thought it was parked.
Hero and sidekick track Bulba down in Launchpad's new airjet called the Thunderquack.
I call it the Thunderquack.
You know, there's a fine line between being a fan and being creepy.
After breaking into the airship, DW once again falls for... Bulba torments DW by having his pet bird drop Goslin to her death for exchange for the code. With the code in place, the Ramrod is now in working condition, and Bulba begins to steal gold from a depository. No longer needing Goslin, Bulba decides to drop her anyway. Launchpad saves her in time, and DW begins his heroic rise to defeating Bulba. DW begins to mess with all the buttons on the Ramrod, causing it to shoot Bulba's airship, causing the ship to fall into the ocean. It then explodes, as well as the Ramrod itself. The show ends with a depressed Goslin looking out the window of the orphanage. Darkwing, and his alter ego Drake Mallard, decides to adopt a little duckling.
With its own unique storylines and many supervillain parodies such as Bushroot, a clear parody on Poison Ivy, Megavolt, a parody on Electro, The Liquidator, a parody of Hydro Man, and Quackerjack, an obvious Joker parody, as well as Negaduck, the basic anti-Darkwing Duck. The show is one of those that tickle your funny bone whenever you need that funny bone tickled. One thing about it is, as a superhero fan, you always notice all of the little nudges they make towards Marvel or DC or any other superhero type stuff. So, if you like superheroes, I highly suggest the show. Check it out. Other than that, remember one thing. When there's trouble, you call DW. I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. Hello, I'm your superhero critic. When it comes to the cartoons of the 90s, we owe superhero cartoon success to one major cartoon, which was Batman the Animated Series. With its dark tones and underlines and storylines and all that stuff, it set the road for most superhero cartoons. So in order to compete with that show, Disney had to come up with something original. Something that we had never seen before. And when it hit the screens, our TV screens that is, everybody got excited for it. At least most people that I know of. That show I'm talking about is Gargoyles. Now, some may say it's not a superhero related show, but the way I see it is they're creatures that defend New York City, so they're heroes in some sort of way. They stop Xanatos from taking over the planet. With that being said, to continue my summer full of Disney, let's take a look at the first 5 episodes of Gargoyles, which, by the way, for those who don't know, was released as a VHS called Gargoyles the Movie. In that collection, you got a board game that you could play while watching the series called The Awakening. So enough of my babble, let's tackle Gargoyles The Awakening.
The miniseries starts in New York City with explosions going off above a high skyscraper, causing mass hysteria in the streets, and we then meet the main heroine of the series, Detective Elisa Maza.
You know, I wish all of my parties had explosions and rocks falling everywhere, because then maybe someone would actually show up.
Elisa then notices something on the rocks falling below.
What could be strong enough to leave claw marks in solid stone?
Wolverine, Sabretooth, the Prowler, Black Panther, the Shredder. There's a lot of different people who could do it.
We then jump to Scotland 994 AD, where the Scots are being attacked by Vikings right before nightfall. The leader of the Vikings learns the hard way that the rumors that the gargoyles are real are 100% true. The Vikings learn that the gargoyles are not invincible, but are still overthrown by them and eventually driven away from invading the castle with a warning from the leader.
This isn't over, monster! I'll be back!
No. Most people that say they're going to be back usually do come back within a comic book. So he's probably going to come back.
The Scotsmen have a celebratory feast in honor of victory, but as the princess shows her speciesism towards the gargoyles, Goliath gives a set of words that most people nowadays don't seem to understand.
It is the nature of humankind to fear what they do not understand.
We then see a man leave the castle and has a meeting with the Viking leader. The next night, the captain of the guard suggests to Goliath that he catch up to the Vikings and take them out to prevent another attack. He says it's too dangerous for anybody to go outside of him. He promises the female gargoyle that he'll take someone with him and that they will always be one. The Scots show more hatred for the gargoyles that are still within the castle, so they decide to show them true monsters. Goliath punishes them by banishing all of them into the rookery for their actions, before he leaves for the Vikings. When he gets there, he learns what's really going on.
They were leading the horses to decoy us from the castle.
Gargoyles then turn to stone as the sun rises and the Vikings attack the castle, showing that the captain of the guard was a traitor all along and the leader of the Vikings destroys all the other gargoyles. First part ends with Goliath screaming in anger as the pain of the truth happens.
See? Told you he'd be back.
We then begin the second part with Goliath and mourning over the loss of his family, and the rest of the gargoyles that are left declare their revenge as they go after the humans. At the humans' camp, the captain of the guard and Viking speak back and forth about the ransom they'll get for the princess, and the Viking leader burns a page of the mage's spellbook.
Might you be referring to this book, Magus? Magic spells. Makes me glad I can't read.
No! My spells!
I really hope that page wasn't needed.
Gargoyles catch up with the humans and they begin to tear the camp apart. The fight ends with the mage being pissed that the gargoyles interrupted the ransom and casts a spell on the 4 gargoyles.
Super Nubes, Asking Dance!
Goliath chases the humans to the edge of a cliff, and he learns that the captain was the traitor all along. He saves the princess' life as they fall to their doom, but the villains eventually drop to the ocean below. Goliath learns the tragedy that the mage has done, and that the counterspell was the page that was ripped out of his book. We learn that the spell can only be broken once the castle rises above the clouds.
Reverse the spell. Bring them back!
I cannot! The page with the counterspell was burned!
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely.
Goliath then has the princess promise to watch over the eggs that are left over and has the mage cast the spell on it. In the present, we jump to Xanatos, who has hired a team to take apart the castle and bring it to New York. With the last piece of the castle set in place, the sun setting, the spell begins to break.
You know, that's how I feel when I go to the bathroom at sometimes.
Xanatos explains to the group that it's been 1,000 years since the spell has been casted. The castle is then attacked by men with guns, and since it's in their nature to defend the castle, they do so with a little bit of trouble since it's them fighting technology. They replay some of episode 1's clips as the intruders make their getaway. Goliath tries to push more information out of Xanatos before agreeing to stay at the castle, despite his loss for trust for humans. The second part ends with the detective declaring she will get to the bottom of things.
Do you figure that was all about, Detective?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
So there's the first 2 parts. We've established a storyline, we've established a backstory, and now here comes the middle part of the story that is really kind of boring, but it picks back up at part 4. The detective makes her way into the building as the gargoyles investigate things in the kitchen. She makes her way to the castle above and runs into Goliath and becomes Mary Jane. Goliath saves her life and begins to give her the rundown on what is actually going on. After explaining things, Goliath and Elisa agree to have a meeting on the next night. Xanatos then enlists the gargoyles to attack a company named Cyberbiotics, to go after 3 discs that are supposedly stolen. As Goliath leaves, a familiar silhouette is shown entering another door. Xanatos says everything's going to plan. I sense that Goliath is going to go through deja vu very, very soon. The next night, Goliath and Elisa have their meeting. His plan is 3 of the other gargoyles decide to roam the city. The oldest gargoyle follows Goliath to make sure there's no ambush. Elisa helps give him the name of Hudson after the New York River. Hudson goes back to the castle and the 2 begin a tour of the city. After Goliath and Elisa save a couple from being mugged, the yellow gargoyle investigates a guy on a motorcycle and after he scares the guy off, makes it explode.
Maybe we better not tell Goliath about this.
I wouldn't let him know either.
At the park, Goliath and Elisa are ambushed and the episode ends with the mercenaries' final words.
What do you want?
Just tying up loose ends.
Right into part 4, Goliath fights off the gunmen and a shootout happens all over the park. The other 3 are getting tired and try to catch a cab.
Yo, taxi!
You know, with all the superheroes and all the mutants and all those superpowered people running around New York, gargoyles would not freak New York City out. But somehow it does.
Lisa finds a radio transmitter on Goliath and the suspicion starts to run wild. With the sun rising soon, the three make their way back to the castle to be ready to be turned into stone, but Goliath isn't so lucky, and Elisa learns what happens when the sun rises.
Goliath, we gotta move.
While Goliath is stoner joke, Elisa is chased by the gunmen around the park where she's chased into a boating dock, where bullets pierce through a gas tank, giving her an escape until she hits a dead end, setting up a trap to take down the gunmen. That night, Goliath awakens to reveal to Elisa that sleeping rejuvenates the gargoyles. Goliath shows a little more trust in Elisa for her staying with him throughout the night. Goliath alerts the rest of the group that they indeed have enemies, and after hearing Hudson's new name, they all choose names from themselves.
Brooklyn. I'm Brooklyn.
Broadway. Lexington. Do you like it?
Great, now they're gonna name the dog Hell's Kitchen or Bronx.
From now on, you're Bronx.
Fuck!
Goliath meets with Xanatos and re-meets an old face.
Acquaintance, I believe. Who?
You're alive.
Goliath, my love.
We then learn how she actually survived.
How? You were shattered by the Vikings.
No, I feared for your safety, so I left the castle to find you. But I lost my way and the sun rose before I could return.
How did you survive all these centuries?
When I returned to the castle, the Magus had already turned you to stone. I begged him to cast his spell on me, so that we might awaken together.
Through love, Goliath is convinced that he should help out retrieving the disc for Xanatos. The group then splits up each of the locations with Goliath, and his love taking the Air Fortress, Brooklyn, Broadway, and Lexington taking the tower, and Hudson and Bronx going towards the underground base. The infiltration begins as the airship team takes down the first guards before the female gargoyle shows a darker sense of hatred for the humans.
The centuries have made you weak, Goliath.
The fourth part ends with the tower trio making their way into a broken elevator shaft and opening the doors to guns.
A late supper.
The final part begins with all three of the discs being obtained by their respective group, which takes about the first 8 minutes of the final part. The female gargoyle takes it upon herself to destroy the airship.
Goliath.
What have you done?
Come on! We have to get out of here!
No, we can't just leave them here.
Let's go! Now!
After giving the disc back to Xanatos, the lovers get into an argument once again over whether or not to trust humans.
You said the centuries have changed me. They've changed you too. You've become hard, unforgiving. You're not as I remember you.
At his meeting with Elisa, Goliath learns once again that he's been betrayed. The whole thing was a setup to get the disc back from Cyberbiotics, who actually owned them. Back at the castle, however, Xanatos releases cybernetic gargoyle robots to attack the gargoyles. Goliath shows up in time to save Lexington. The rest of the episode is the final siege on the castle that lasts for the remainder of the episode. The real gargoyles eventually overpower the mechanical fakes, and the female gargoyle shows her evil side and tries to kill the rest of them. Her and Goliath have a few choice words about trust in humans. In the process, she reveals that she also has her own name, which is Demona. Elisa saves Goliath's lives and then becomes Mary Jane once again. The five-parter then ends with Goliath giving into the good in him and choosing not to kill Xanatos before he's arrested. With Demona missing, the group discuss whether or not she survived, and the whole series ends with the sun rising and the gargoyles going to sleep.
Tomorrow night?
I wouldn't miss it.
Good. Maybe we'll catch a Giants game.
Giants?
I wonder if this city's ready for you guys.
So there you go. One of the most original concepts for a cartoon show, at least from the 90s. Nowadays, it's all the same bullshit over and over again with different characters. But, alas, nothing more I can say on the subject. It's a really good show. The storylines are very well scripted. It's just overall one of those awesome shows. You have to watch it in order to get a feel for it. I'm your superhero critic. Check out Gargoyles if you haven't already. And I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. Hello, I'm your superhero critic. I stay super as long as you stay awesome. And I am with...
Arabia, the PG Queen.
Back in the 90s, we got a series that I personally didn't like. I don't know about her.
I love them.
Either way, we got the Air Bud series. For those of you who have never seen the Air Bud series, basically it's a dog who learns how to play sports. The 5 movies were basketball, soccer, football, baseball, and volleyball. Woo.
And then, come 2006, we took this lovely set of films that were very educational to children and made people feel important. And they took their children from the movies and created the Air Buddies.
Yay, puppies.
There's 7 of these, one coming out in 2015. And these ones should not have been created, personally. But
some of the gimmicks are... There's a Halloween movie, there's a space movie, there's a freaking Christmas movie. It's basically they take the puppies, put them in some stupid archetype, and make a movie out of it. Selling to parents, making them buy this crap for their kids who get obsessed with dogs and shit like that. But that brings us to today's review. The 7th and newest film out of the series
also the quietest, biggest crap I've ever seen in my life
is Super Buddies. They take the 4 dogs, and unlike something unique and actually entertaining like Underdog or Bolt or something else, we get Super Buddies. The movie starts with a zoom down on our setting of Fernfield Farm, where we meet our main characters, Butterball and Bartleby, a young boy and his dog who is depressed that he can't come up with an original character for his comic book. His grandfather reassures him he has talent and gives him a birthday gift of a #1 issue of his favorite comic book. Wish I could get that. The movie then goes to an animated explanation of the comic's origin story.
In a whole other galaxy is the planet Inspiron, whose citizens had spent eons in peace and prosperity, protected by the 5 power rings of Inspiron. All that changed when the evil Commander Drex attacked, seeking to capture the sacred rings. This is sped towards Earth. Drex's ship fired on the Inspiron ship.
See, if you look at the visual, even the dog looks bored as fuck of this movie, and we're not even 5 minutes in yet.
'Cause the comic book is boring.
I like the art style.
After the movie finishes the rest of the comic's origin story, Bartleby's friends start showing up alongside of their puppies, and Grandpa decides to use the zip line.
Evildoers, beware! The amazing Grandpa Man is here!
That was so cool! Dude, that was major sweet! Are you okay? Whoa!
The party begins with a scavenger hunt, and we get a bunch of pointless scenes that really do nothing for the plot, let alone do anything. One puppy makes pigs dirty by making mud, another speaks to a bull about strength and bravery, 2 others torment a bunch of chickens, and the rest of them just chat with the other animals.
Who the hell thought it was a bright idea to make this dog blinged out and all black and ghetto?
Personality-wise, there's a difference between trying to make its own character, but each puppy is basically a stereotype. It's not even funny. You get the girl, you get the religious person.
That girl is so preppy, I would not be near her. If she was human, she would have been shot.
You get the, oh my god, let's be superheroes character, and you get the black guy, or the white guy trying to be a black guy.
B-Dog, man.
No, you stop it. It's just, 1, slightly racist, and 2, it's just annoying.
The 5 pups go into the shed and dig up rings that magically attach themselves around the puppies' necks. During cake time, we go back to the animated comic book land, and quickly back to live action where we see shitty CGI alien interact with a dog and transform into such dog. The cops and the ambulance people let the dog walk away, and he gets picked up by a boy on a bike.
So, let me get this straight. The 5 dogs and all the other animals can talk to each other and they can understand it, but the humans cannot understand the animals speak. But this alien who becomes a dog can speak fluently straight to a human. Don't you think if your camouflage should fit the world? If the dogs can't talk to humans,
That would make no sense to this movie. We gotta be completely oxymoronish.
sense makes none.
Not in this movie.
That's the point.
This movie makes me want to go, what happened to my life?
It makes me want to punch a chicken.
And my dog started talking to me. I was blue. I'd definitely be looking at it like it was funny.
The boy then guilts his mom into letting him keep the dog, and they magically decide they're going to become superheroes.
So, in this world, you are telling me that in this comic book that they created, which is based off real life, that a 10-year-old boy with no physical powers, let alone money for gadgets, or any martial arts training whatsoever, just decides, hey, I'm going to be a fucking superhero.
Absolutely. Because 10-year-olds have that capability and their parents don't notice it.
I understand imagination, but where the fuck is his parents?
Don't you know parents don't exist in movies? They're just there for show.
Especially Power Rangers.
Or Peanuts.
Wah, 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 wah.
Those are the teachers. You barely see the parents.
Either way, same freaking thing.
The kids then discuss that the comic may actually be based off of real events, and we fade to grown-up Jack and the alien dog, who get the signal that the rings have been activated. Back on the farm, however, the dogs start gaining magical powers. Butterball gains super strength, B-Dog becomes super stretchy, Buddha gains telekinesis, Mudbud becomes invisible, and Rosebud gains super speed.
So, how is this town just filled with stupid people that don't understand how to look for something? Like, do they not have a peripheral vision? I mean, the kid literally didn't even go inside the house. He was there the whole time it happened and has no... He's just like, oh, my dog's up on the basketball hoop. How the fuck did that happen?
Well, they do get the traits from their parents, and if the parents are any indication of this movie, they aren't the brightest.
Oh my god. Like...
Especially to notice that the rings that they had in the bag are completely different colors than the ones that they had found.
But it make no sense.
And they glowed.
It make no sense. It just make no sense. It's like a banker that's gone bankrupt. He makes no sense.
Well, you chose this movie. It's alright. Some tummy love. Just like the puppies in the movie.
The villain of the movie, Drex, learns that the rings have been activated and heads for Earth. All the dogs show each other their powers, and B-Dog saves the day by stopping a purse snatcher, and the dogs decide that they are going to use their powers to become superheroes. They get their first heroic act by saving a cat out of a tree.
Oops. Saved by a dog? Now that's a catastrophe.
There she is! Let's go!
Well, at least the cat's safe. Maybe we need to practice a little bit more.
Yeah, think!
The dogs save the day again and stop a crime happening at a candy shop. Yes, a candy shop. Because that's fun. Who robs a candy shop?
Drex lands on Earth and body snatches a pig. Gramps has the normal response that you would normally get.
5 rings of Inspiron.
The movie's dim-witted cop shows up on the farm, but with the cloaking device on it, he does not see the ship. Pigdex goes driving around the town and blows up a drive-through speaker box, shaped like an alien. After driving into a pole, the sheriff catches Pigdex in the middle of the street. The kids then find the ship, and Bartleby gets a shock he won't ever forget.
As the pups try to save a girl from a burning building, Captain Canine shows up and helps save the day. The news finally learns the pups are actually super, and Captain Canine warns the pups that Drex will be tracking the rings. The kids finally learn that the pups are heroes, and Drex body switches into the sheriff, which the kids quickly learn.
That's not Sheriff Dan.
Correct! I am Drex, feared leader of the Darkonian races.
We then get our movie training montage 50 minutes into the movie. Later that night, Drex locks the kids in the shed, and they start reading comics to figure some way out of their situation. Drex then shoots a tractor beam at a meteor and makes it head towards Earth. How original. Drex and Megasis come face to face, but it's not very long before Megasis is taken out of the picture.
With Megasis gone, the Super Pups finally pull themselves enough courage and pull their powers together. After Drex tries to fight them, Butterball and Drex have a bold charge off.
That scene was utter bullshit.
Bad joke. While Drex fights the puppies, the kids come up with the scam to give the dog food toy rings to Drex. Gramps then uses a lightning rod to siphon electricity.
put a shock to your system.
The pups make their escape to get back with the kids, only for Drex to blow up the shed door. Bartleby and the kids trick Drex into taking the fake rings, and after returning the sheriff into his body, Drex goes to leave the planet, realizing too late that the toys are fake.
What's happening? Those aren't the rings of Inspiron! Those are plastic! Oh no!
Jack comes to the farm and realizes the Captain Canine is dead. But through the magic of plot convenience and flashy colorful lights,
If Power Rangers taught us anything about sparkling light, it teaches you that you could resurrect anything using sparkly lights.
except Twilight.
While the good guys celebrate winning, a ship appears and an alien appears from the ship.
What the fuck? Did E.T. have sex with a troll?
CGI is so horrible. It's just that alien, if you even want to call it, it's not even attractive. I understand aliens are not meant to be attractive or anything like that.
At least the first one was the stereotypical alien. This one just looks like...
But we understand that this is supposed to be a female alien. You should still try to make it somewhat attractive and not make it look like Mr. T got horny with something that, like a skunk or something.
Well, at least they got over the whole stereotype thing, because she's taller than the guy.
I pity a fool!
They don't make her a stereotypical girl.
Well, technically, she can't be a stereotypical girl since she's an alien. But I pity a fool who likes that alien.
To wrap up this piece of crap, Bartleby gets a Medal of Honor, Megasis gets transformed back to his true form, and the group all say farewell as Megasis goes home. Jack then makes an announcement that Bartleby is the new partner at the comic shop, and announces a new comic, and we end with another comic to live action transition.
A new one was about to begin.
And the movie is finally over! Worst movie ever!
Don't forget, you still gotta do Underdog.
Mail.
Let's see what we got.
Bill, coupons I'll probably never use. Something from my friend Lyle. I wonder what it is. Urgh! Why you no open? What is this? Stupid sticky shit.
Okay. Hollywood has a habit of taking childhood nostalgia and taking a giant shit on the franchise of whatever it happens to be. From Garfield to Smurfs to Alvin and the Chipmunks to G.I. Joe to the atrocity that is the Transformers movie franchise, we cannot seem to get anything from the 80s that's actually worth watching in movie form. We don't get any farther when it comes to Disney's interpretation for Underdog. Mind you, it is not a bad movie if you're a child. Other than that, it's cliche after cliche after cliche. And I've been dreading this movie since we started our summer of Disney. But let's get it over with. This is Underdog.
Like usual, we get a quick narration while listening to a remix version of the show's theme song. We then go straight into a city council meeting discussing the crime in the city. The main hero of the movie, who's later named Shoeshine, tries to alert everybody of the bomb.
Well, mine's not.
It's a gift from the American Pork Association.
Our hero goes through depression narration as he explains he's a horrible cop dog, like we couldn't figure that out. He's nabbed on the street corner by a guy and shoved in a cage. He gets a warning to run when he can.
Is when the guy in the white lab coat pulls out the giant needle. Run!
We then meet our main villain, Dr. Simon Bar Sinister, played by Peter Dinklage, and his corrupt security guard, Cad Lackey, played by Patrick Warburton. The two start discussing that gene manipulation is the next big break in science.
Through genetic manipulation.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
What the fuck is this? It looks like a leopard had sex with a dachshund. Only person who would find that attractive is Nigel Thornberry.
Shoeshine is then chosen for an injection, which he quickly says no to and starts a chase around the room, bringing the shelves of chemicals down around him, giving him his powers to break free. He then comes across three dogs that are played by Cameron Clark, famous for his voice of Leo from Ninja Turtles, Brad Garrett, famous for his role as Robert on Everybody Loves Raymond, and John DiMaggio, famous for playing Bender in Futurama. The three dogs chase our hero around an alley until he gets hit by the security guard Daniel, who was also in the scene from earlier. Played by Jim Belushi. We see that Daniel and his son, Jack, are not as close as they could be, and we get the typical hero going through his power activation scenes, exploding a chili can, cracking the windows, and throwing the couch.
Did you just talk?
Huh? What? Whoa, wait a minute. You can understand?
Okay, that dog just talked. To a human. The dog just talked. I'm out.
At the park, the two try to figure out what's actually going on, and we meet Jack's love interest for the movie, Molly, who brings her own puppy, Polly. Shoeshine instantly falls for her. After the girls leave, the guys start training Shoeshine more, and after using super hearing, they find out that Molly is being mugged. Shoeshine starts running to save them and starts flying. After many corny one-liners and jokes, Shoeshine ends up saving Molly from the mugger. After Shoeshine complains about not wanting to be a hero, they try to clean up before Jack's dad gets home. Cad Lackey comes to the door pretending to have lost his dog, which Jack quickly sends away. After Daniel discovers his house a mess, Jack convinces his dad to let him keep Shoeshine. A jewelry heist starts and we get a small argument between Shoeshine and Jack about Shoeshine being a hero.
The truth is, I just want to be a regular dog.
And I want to be a regular kid with a mom and a dad. But you know what? Life doesn't always work out that way.
Ooh, right in the feels, movie.
Shoeshine's first heroic deed is now finally witnessed.
Okay, I'm sorry, but for this next joke, I kinda gotta go gangster a little bit. So, in the words of Chris Tucker,
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Jack then gets the idea to put Shoeshine inside of a costume so Underdog is finally born, as we have the typical crime-fighting montage.
That's not it.
After the montage, Bar Sinister hatches a plan to catch Underdog by making Cad dress like a woman and set him up. When he learns that it's Cad, Underdog decides to take him for a ride. After Jack gives Underdog a better civilian disguise, they go to the library to meet the girls where Riff Raff and the other dogs torment Shoeshine once again. Polly then gets a late night date with Underdog, and we get a dog version of the Superman flying scene, followed by a remake of the famous spaghetti scene from Lady and the Tramp. While Jack's gone, Daniel gets kidnapped by Bar Sinister, and they eventually rescue him, only for Shoeshine to lose his powers for his family's safety. Father and son then get off everything they've been bottling up out on the plate.
Jack, don't quit.
Quit?
Yeah.
Me? What about you? You were the best cop in the city, and you should be up there stopping Bar Sinister. But you quit. You quit the force.
I did quit. I quit, Jack. I quit because I didn't want anything to happen to me. I didn't want to leave you alone.
God damn it, movie, stop with the fucking feels. It hurts.
They make their escape as Bar Sinister takes over City Hall, and Jack convinces Shoeshine that he's still a hero. He then smells a bomb and breaks into the building to save the day. After rolling a globe into Bar Sinister and the mayor, Shoeshine eventually gets his powers back and chases the other dogs around the building.
My powers may be back at last, but these German shepherds are way too fast.
Bar Sinister takes a pill himself, gaining all of Underdog's powers, and Shoeshine's love of frisbees bites him in the ass.
I'll play your game. It might be a stretch. Can you resist this? Simon Says, fetch.
Shoeshine then convinces all of the attack dogs that Bar Sinister doesn't actually give a damn and convinces them to hold him still so he can save the day. Daniel finally goes into action and brings Bar Sinister out of the hall for arresting. Underdog then saves Molly and Holly and manages to take the bomb to the center of the earth before it blows up and sends him to space, only for him to come crashing back down.
God.
Stop with the feels.
The movie ends with Bar Sinister going to jail, Underdog giving us an ending narration about being underdog heroes, and then we get the final rhyme from our hero that's clearly a joke on Superman.
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's a frog!
A frog!
Not bird, nor plane, nor even frog. It's just little old me, Underdog!
There you go. That's Underdog. While I personally don't like this movie, I did, however, enjoy sitting down with my son and watching it as a family film. It's something for kids and parents to watch together, just like the show was. It's one of those things you gotta have a taste for the show. If you don't like the show, you're not gonna like the movie. But then there's some people who like the show and don't like the movie. But what can you do? Either way, I finally got through that. There's only 3 movies left in my summer of Disney. So tune in next time when we go to the high school for superheroes in Sky High. I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. And join me next time. Hello, I'm your superhero critic. What do you get when you take a bunch of teenagers, throw them in high school, and make that high school dedicated to teaching people how to use their powers? No, not the X-Men. I'm talking, of course, of Sky High. Filled with a storyline that actually makes sense, cameo after cameo of good actors, and just an overall sense of Disney, Sky High is one of those shows that would have gotten a complete series if the movie didn't flop in Disney's eyes. So, with that being the case, I bring to you Sky High. The movie begins with an audio narration by our main character ranting about being the son of the 2 best superheroes on the planet. We then go to see that he himself lacks any powers at all. We then meet his parents, played by Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston, who are discussing that they may be winning vacation at their real estate job.
Think of it, Josie. You, me on the beach, no exploding volcanoes. I can feel the sand in my toes already.
Hey. Just because you're Kurt Russell does not mean you can take a Disney movie and turn it sexual. We get the typical father-son moment that is actually kind of depressing, but ends on a comedic note. We then meet Will's lifelong friend Layla, played by Danielle Panabaker, who has powers over plant life. Will's parents get a call from the mayor to go save the city in peril, and we witness Will watching his parents in action on the news. That was actually kind of awesome. Layla and Will board a school bus, and after they pick up the final student, we watch the bus driver, played by Kevin Heffernan, transform the bus into a rocket.
Hang on back there. We're going off-road. Here we go.
Can we go back? I kind of left my spleen back at the bus stop. At the school, we see examples of students' powers, as well as us meeting the main bullies of the movie, Speed and Lash, who round up the freshmen and try to make them donate money. We then meet one of the biggest plot points of the movie.
Gwen Grayson, your student body president. I know you're all going to love it here at Sky High. I know I have. I've just had the greatest experience and I've made the greatest friends. But there are...
She's a babe!
The students are placed in the main hallway where they are told they will be given a power placement test, and who possibly could be the one person that they got to play the person to give said test? What superhero movie is not complete without the one and only Bruce Campbell? Bruce Campbell!
The kids start showing off their powers and they either become a hero or a Layla refuses to show off her powers, so she's labeled as a sidekick. At lunch we meet Warren Peace, child of an unknown superhero and a villain that Will's father put away.
Warren Peace. I get it. War and peace. It's a joke on the book. Not funny.
We get the typical nerdy guy who can't talk to a hot chick conversation with Gwen, and Campbell decides he's going to torment Will when he thinks he's joking about not having power. He gets his label of
If I wore glasses, they'd probably be broken right now.
At his nurse checkup, Will learns the downfall that could end up being his life.
Of two superpowered parents. Never acquires any powers whatsoever.
Thank you, nurse lady, for the icing on top of the cake of my already shitty day.
After school, Will's dad takes Will into their secret base, and we learn how obsessed his dad really is with him becoming a hero. Will doesn't gather up the courage to tell him, and after a short glimpse that the robot eye is still working, Layla tries to convince Will to tell his parents. Back at school, after meeting the sidekick teacher, who happened to be Will's father's ex-sidekick, we get our movie's training montage. Back at Will's house, his dad comes home from being a hero and Will finally gets the courage to tell his dad that he has no powers. His dad reacts like he knew he would.
But you will. You're just a late bloomer, that's what it is.
Maybe. Maybe not. But I don't care. Because really, the fact of the matter is,
God damn it, Disney, stop with the feels!
The next day at lunch, Lash trips Will and starts a fight between Will and Warren. During the fight, Will's powers finally activate.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
The fight continues until Will breaks open a fire extinguisher, extinguishing Warren's flame. In the detention room, Will tries to make amends with no avail.
what do you say?
I say, if you ever cross me again, I'll roast you alive.
After school, Will's parents are disappointed that Will used his powers to destroy the school, but his father is just happy that he has powers. At school, Will is changed into the hero classes, and he's partnered with Gwen, who flirts with him, trying to make it seem like she's actually interested. At lunch, the other heroes make Will ignore the sidekicks, and he tries to make it up to Layla by promising to meet her at a Chinese restaurant. Lash and Speed are picking on Zach and Ethan, and a bet is made if Will can beat the Save the Civilian challenge. Partnered with Warren, the two of them have trouble getting anywhere at first, but eventually by working together they win the challenge. Gwen comes over unannounced and Will forgets about Layla at the restaurant. Gwen tells Will's parents that they want to give them an award for Heroes of the Year. Layla then gets some advice from Warren to tell Will how she really feels. Will and Gwen decide that they are going to dance together, unfortunately to Layla, so she tells Will she's going with Warren, unfortunately to him.
God, I'm so emo. I just want to be alone with all my sexy good looks and hate everything.
Gwen convinces Will to have a party at his house, which of course becomes a disaster when she tricks him into taking her into the secret sanctum, has a fast figure, speeds by while they kiss. Gwen pulls the asshole girl routine to make Layla hate Will, and Will is beyond ticked off and dumps Gwen. And it only gets worse when Will's parents get home.
It's the count of 3. I want everyone out of this house!
Son, I'm only going to ask you this.
Dad, I swear, I didn't plan this.
All right, it's good enough for me.
Steve, I have got half a mind not to let him go to homecoming.
It's fine, I'm not going anyway.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Your mom said she had half a mind. Will, you have to go to the homecoming dance. We all have to, because we're introducing the world to the Stronghold 3. Greatest family of superheroes mankind has ever known.
The commander didn't even get to what?
The family argue, and through his depression, Will tells his parents he's not going to the dance, and Will tries to get through to Layla to meet him at the Chinese place. While in the secret sanctum, Will makes a startling discovery.
That's weird. Gwen. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no. No. I gotta get to Sky High.
Yeah, because nobody saw that plot twist coming.
At the dance, Gwen finally uncovers her real self, and she uses her pacifier gun to turn the commander and all of the other adults into babies as she takes over the school with the help of Speed, Lash, and the cheerleader. Will meets up with his friends and tries to tell them what's going on.
Gwen!
Is Royal Pain's daughter.
Yeah, and she
stole the pacifier.
Right.
Yeah, and she turned everybody into babies, including your parents, dude.
Okay, that I didn't know.
I think this is even more than the great Will Stronghold can handle.
Well, fine. Don't let me explain what's going on. I'm only the main hero of this movie.
The villainous trio decide to attack the heroes as Will goes after Royal Pain. Speed goes after Warren, Lash goes after Ethan, and the cheerleader goes after Layla. Following Royal Pain, we learn how everything was possible.
No one could defeat Royal Pain. When the pacifier exploded, I wasn't destroyed. I was merely turned into a baby. Stitches took me away and raised me as his daughter.
Daddy's little girl.
I told you never to call me that! Lunatic. That's right. Royal Pain wasn't my mother. Royal Pain is me!
Oh my god. I mean, I was an old lady.
I just threw up into my son's toy chest.
The fights all start. Warren and Ethan take out Speed and Lash, and we see why Gwen doesn't like using her powers.
Damn, she makes Poison Ivy look calm.
The sidekicks learn that Royal Pain is going to make the school plummet towards Earth, and it is now Magenta's time to shine.
To be like a rat to fit in there.
Plot convenience!
Royal Pain then throws Will out of the window, only for his secondary power to activate.
Surprised? So am I.
You're flying? That's impossible!
Pain activates the failsafe to make the school go towards the Earth.
That could have been messy.
Oh, good night.
I think he peed himself.
To finish the movie off, Will tells his parents he's responsible for everything, which they tell him not to worry about. The sidekicks get promoted to hero status by the commander himself, and the dance and everyone else live happily ever after.
Really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
And there you go. Sky High. It's good for Disney standards. If you're just trying to put something in to make the kids quiet down or something like that, it's good. If you're actually looking at it for superhero aspect, it's meh. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just one of those things that could have gone somewhere if they extended the series, but they didn't. So, there you go. Where am I going to go next with my summer of Disney? Well, there's only one way I can go. And that's incredible. I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. Your superhero critic, and I say super as long as you stay awesome. In 2004, Disney and Pixar combined forces to create one of the best movies of all time. That movie grossed over $70 million within its first weekend. I am, of course, talking about the one and only movie, The Incredibles. One of the best written and best story told superhero animated movies that exist. So, since there's no more explanation really needed, let's take a dive into this masterpiece that is The Incredibles. The movie starts with all of the main characters in sort of a mock interview about being heroes before the movie's logo shows. We then jump straight into Mr. Incredible intercepting a pursuit where he ends up saving a cat from a tree, stopping the heist at the same time, and he gets back into his car. We meet...
My name is Incrediboy.
Look, I've been nice. I've stood for photos, signed every scrap of paper you pushed at me, but this
No, you don't have to worry about training me. I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, favorite catchphrases, everything. I'm your #1 fan.
Good God, that kid is creepy.
We then meet Elastigirl, who flirts with Mr. Incredible after stopping a purse snatcher after they clean up a suicidal person jumps off of a roof. Mr. Incredible then comes face to face with Bon Voyage, who's robbing the bank that they landed in. Buddy shows up again, and Voyage uses Buddy's interference as a way to escape, forcing Mr. Incredible to save the kid from a bomb that attached to his cape. The bomb explodes, and the train tracks make him have to save the train.
Wow, what a bang-up way to start the night. Really? Crickets.
Mr. Incredible finally gets to where he had started to go to in the beginning of the movie, which was his very own wedding. To Elastigirl, only for him to utter the words that no one should ever say in a movie, and we get a newsreel.
Come on, we're superheroes. What could happen?
In a stunning turn of events, a superhero is being sued for saving someone who apparently didn't want to be saved. The plaintiff, Oliver Sansweet, who was foiled in his attempted suicide by Mr. Incredible, has filed suit against the famed superhero in Superior Court.
Mr. Sansweet didn't ask to be saved. Mr. Sansweet didn't want to be saved. And the injury received from Mr. Incredible's actions, so-called, causes him daily pain.
Hey, I saved your life!
You didn't save my life, you ruined my death. That's what you
Listen,
my client.
You know what happens when you ask what could happen? You get sued by assholes looking for money and get forced into hiding by the government. Good job. Now we jump to 15 years later, where we see Bob Parr has become an insurance salesman whose boss, played by Wallace Shawn, thinks he's too nice and lenient to his clients. We jump to Helen Parr, who is at her son Dashiell's school, where he's being accused of putting tax on his teacher's seat. Mother and son argue over Dash using his powers, and we're off to Violet, who is hiding from the guy she likes. Ooh, I get it. We take the shy 16-year-old girl, we make her invisible because every girl feels invisible. We take the 10-year-old kid and make him a hyperactive kid because every 10-year-old is hyperactive. Yay, stereotypes. After dinner, while the kids are being superpowered kids, Bob reads the paper to find out a former superhero is currently missing. Bob's best friend Lucius, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, stops by and they leave. The two guys argue over sneaking around at night in order to keep their glory days going, as they sneak around doing heroic things. They eventually go to save a bunch of people from a burning building before it collapses, only to land in a jewelry store, setting off alarms.
Freeze! I'm thirsty.
I said freeze!
I'm just getting a drink.
All right, had your drink. Now, I want you to...
I know. Freeze.
Police officers!
One question that bugs me since the beginning of this movie: if they ban superheroes, what is to stop a super villain from taking over the city? They could easily just rob that store just like Frozone did, except for he would actually rob it and not just walk away. When Bob gets home, Helen and him get into an argument about Bob doing heroic acts, and the tensions get high before the kids show themselves and it becomes a family discussion. The next day, Bob gets into another argument with his boss, and he sees a guy getting mugged out the window. He lets his boss know how he feels about the situation. I wish I could have done that to some of my bosses. While cleaning out his suitcase, Bob finds an envelope that has a tablet sealed in it where the woman named Mirage tells Bob of an island where a mechanical robot is being stored and she needs his help to destroy it. Bob lies to Helen about his job, and he gets more information on the robot once he meets Mirage. On the island, Mr. Incredible quickly finds the robot. The scene is suspenseful as our hero fights for his life all across the island. The fight eventually leads into the inside of a volcano, where our hero outsmarts the machine. What happened to not destroying the machine, Mr. Incredible? During a dinner with Mirage, we see the mysterious figure in hiding that is clearly her boss, and after a montage of happy-go-lucky scenes, Bob goes to see Edna Mode, who is a superhero suit designer who has a thing against capes.
Remember Thunderhead?
tall, storm powers. Nice man, good with kids.
Listen.
November 15th of 58.
All was well, another day saved, when his cape snagged on a missile pin.
Thunderhead was not the brightest bulb.
Stratogale, April 23rd, 57. Cape caught in a jet turbine.
You can't generalize about this.
Meta-Man, express elevator. Dyna-Guy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No capes.
Well, fuck!
Bob gets another call, and Helen starts getting suspicious about what's really going on. When he gets on the island for his next assignment, Mr. Incredible gets ambushed by a second robot, and we meet the villain of the movie, who of course turns out to be Buddy from the past, now calling himself Syndrome. We find out that he has been inventing weapons for other countries, and while showing off, Syndrome makes a simple mistake.
Who's super now? I'm Syndrome, your nemesis Brilliant.
Syndrome traps Mr. Incredible in a cave where he finds Gazer Beam's body and finds a hidden message of Kronos. Incredible tricks the scanning bot into thinking he's dead, and we jump to Helen, who learns through Edna about Rob's heroics due to her showing Helen all the designed suits with each family member in mind. Mr. Incredible sneaks into Syndrome's main base on the island as he hacks into the computer to learn what Kronos was, which is essentially using the robot to murder superheroes and take over the city. He is captured once again as Helen activates his suit's beacon. Helen gets a favor from a friend in order to get a plane so she can find Bob. The kids, of course, sneak on. Syndrome decides to send a welcoming gift to Helen, saving the kids in time before death.
Brace yourselves!
The family make it onto the island, and while Helen tries to calm the kids down, we get a heart-to-heart between mother and daughter.
You have more power than you realize. Don't think. And don't worry. If the time comes, you'll know what to do. It's in your blood.
It's just so sad. Elastigirl sneaks onto the base 007 style until she gets caught in between a couple of doors, eventually knocking out all the guys. Dash leaves the cave in order to explore the island and finds where they was a rocket engine export area, forcing them out of the cave. Mirage breaks Mr. Incredible out of his containment unit, and husband and wife meet up again as they learn the kids are in danger. The kids handle themselves well as Dash leads a chase around the island, and the kids learn more about their powers. The kids literally run into their parents, and the family is one again.
You're alright.
Oh, you're alright.
We're so worried
I'll
about
never
you.
see you again.
Syndrome stops all the fun and has a laugh at the family of supers as he imprisons all of them, revealing that his plan was to stop his own invention in order to be the only super to exist. While the robot destroys the city, Violet uses her powers to break everybody out of the containment, and they find a rocket in the hangar bay. Frozone sees the robot and decides it's time to jump into action.
I need it! Don't you think about running off to doing no daring do? We've been planning this dinner for 2 months.
The public is in danger!
My evening's in danger.
You tell me what my suit is, woman! We are talking about the greater good!
Greater good? I am your wife.
I am sick and tired of all these motherfucking women taking my motherfucking super suit. I'ma punch a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Syndrome's plan works out at first, but the robot begins to adapt like it should. The Incredibles finally make it to the city while arguing in the stolen van like a usual family. Mr. Incredible tries to do things on his own, and we get another touching moment.
Strong enough, and this will make you stronger?
Yes. No!
That's what this is? Some sort of workout?
I can't lose you again! I can't. Not again. I'm not strong enough.
God damn it, Disney! All summer you have done nothing but pull the heartstrings. Stop it.
The big battle starts as all the heroes, Frozone included, start a citywide destruction as they work together to take down the robot. As everyone chases around the remote that controls it, Mr. Incredible figures out how to take down the robot.
Everybody down!
As the Incredibles head out of the city, Elastigirl checks on Jack only to find out Syndrome has taken the baby, only to find out that Jack actually has powers and slightly helps save the day as Syndrome is finally killed by the one thing Edna warned everybody about.
You. Everything is all right.
Maybe I should get rid of the cape. Nah.
We end with 3 months later, seeing a happy family enjoying Dash's track meet. Violet gets the guy that she liked, and as they're celebrating on Dash's win, it is interrupted by a possible sequel.
On peace and happiness! Soon all will tremble before me!
So there you have it, one of the best movies Disney and Pixar ever made together. Now my question is this. Whatever happened to the babysitter to make her disappear? That would do it. However, those display of power is... That was totally wicked! I'm your superhero critic. I stay super as long as you stay awesome. Let's see, I've done Inspector Gadget, I've done Gargoyles, I've done Underdog, I've done Sky High. What else should I do for my summer of Disney?
Hey, I've got a movie that you haven't done yet.
What's that?
Rocketeer.
Shit, how the fuck did I forget about that movie?
It's a movie based off a 1940s TV serial, well, movie serial. Basically, when you'd go to the movies and they'd show like the little like films and stuff right before the actual movie, and all the newsreels, they had one called The Rocket Man. And you know, pretty much they just did an updated version through Disney and all, and, well, it's got pretty much everything you'd want. It's got, you know, gangster stuff, police chases, you know, you got the basic comic book hero, you got Nazis, you know, just a little bit of everything for everybody. Got stuff for the girls, a little romance and stuff.
Any way I could go over to your place so we could sit and do the review together?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
What is that?
1 second. You've seen Doctor Who, right?
Oh! Ah! What the fuck was that?
Like I said, you've seen Doctor Who, right?
No, I actually haven't.
Oh. Blasphemer.
Ow! Anyway, since I'm actually here,
you should get the Geeky Gamer guy in this.
I was actually about to ask you about that.
Let's see. One of those, and two of those, and... yeah.
Ah, fuck, some... God, what the hell am I here for? What the
this?
I'm naked! Put your dangler away. Oh my god! Why? Were you in the shower? Yes, I was in the shower. What the hell? What do you want people? What do you want me for? Why am I here? Because this is the Rocketeer review. What?
Go, dogs, go.
What? The Rocketeer review. What?
Go on stage.
You're doing a review and that's final. What? We open the movie with our main character, Cliff Secord, test piloting a new racing plane. As that's going on, two cars are busy shooting at each other over an unknown reason, accidentally shooting the plane, causing him to eventually crash. Well, the movie's over. Time to get the hell out of here.
The movie just started.
I was just starting a shower when you dragged me in here. Too late!
Well, I'm just starting a book.
That's what you get.
You know, when I send you back, certain parts may disappear, right?
I hate you.
The cops investigate the accident, blaming Cliff, and then go to the plane yard for everything going on. Cliff doesn't take the blame so well.
And I kind of want to punch this federal agent, too.
I hear nowadays that's a good thing. It gets you lots of time with other adult men that like to also shower.
Man, fuck this shit. All y'all motherfuckers are the ones that are trying to make me come in here when...
Have a seat.
I don't want to have a seat. Stop it!
Alright, so in the wreckage we're shown what looks to be like the vacuum cleaner that the guy looked at on the table earlier. But everybody else seems to not know what it is. Now we jump over to Howard Hughes, played by Terry O'Quinn. Most people would recognize him from his part as like the mayor in Tombstone, Good Western. Looks like he's complaining about the device being destroyed and all that, and reveals that it's actually a jetpack.
Cliff and his boss argue with the higher-ups about doing acts to keep the place open, and during a cleanup, Cliff finds the rocket under the plane seat and accidentally sets it off.
Touch that if I were you.
See, nobody ever listens when somebody's like, hey, don't think you should touch that.
I will break you. But I like your nipples.
It's with the typical mobster boss Eddie Valentine about the job of stealing the rocket. Eventually, they make a deal that the price Howard offered Eddie will be tripled if he gets the rocket back. While that's going on, though, Cliff and Peavy steal a statue to test the rocket on.
Cliff now convinces Peavy to let him keep the rocket, and then he leaves to go pick up his girlfriend. Another star that, well, she wasn't a star at this point. Jennifer Connelly. People would know her from Hulk. It looks like he stopped at the door by, you know, the stereotypical, oh, I'm not letting my girls out of my sight, blah, 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 blah. Den mother.
You know my rules. No gentleman after 6 p.m.
Well, I'm no gentleman.
You can say that again.
He's no mother, gentlemen. What?
Gentlemen.
Did you really just make a side joke?
Gentlemen.
Hey. No.
Hey, sexy lady.
He gets it. Really?
Rocky gets it. Rocky don't give a fuck.
See what I fucking live with?
Brad gets it. Janet got it multiple times.
Help me.
Jenny's girlfriend reveals that she may have gotten a small part in a movie, and they go to see another movie with the same actor within it. While they are doing that, the injured driver from earlier gets a visit from Lothar and ends up being murdered after spilling the beans on where the rocket is.
Uncle Lothar wants you! Fine, I won't make a Power Rangers joke.
Oh, I thought it was Luthor.
I'm Batman.
I'm Superhero Critic.
And I hate you.
I hate this.
I'm Diane Stalls.
Out on their date, the love couple have an argument over Cliff not telling Jerry about the accident, which causes Jenny to leave him at the restaurant. We get a glimpse of what the helmet looks like. Cliff visits Jenny on her seat, and during her take, he ends up causing an accident.
And now the lovers have a nice little quarrel. And Neville Sinclair overhears that Cliff found a rocket, and now he's trying to worm his way into Jenny's heart. And of course, at the air show, one of the planes starts messing up due to a error of somebody actually letting a guy who hadn't been flying for years get into a plane. And Cliff jumps into action with the rocket and saves the pilot's life.
After all the news buzz and excitement, the FBI go to see Bigelow only to find him dead. Lothar then make a visit to PV at Cliff's place in order to get the rocket. Lothar manages to get away, but not after grabbing a blueprint. While Cliff's in hiding at the restaurant, the gang members try to hustle everyone into telling them where Cliff is.
I baked you a pie! What flavor? Pie flavor!
After torturing people and messing with people and throwing pies and all this other stuff, we find Jenny's number on the wall notepad. Really? How cliche. Lead gangster then figures out that, well, Sinclair's with the dame at their club, and they leave to go take care of business. And we have another gangster who then notices the pictures on the wall, and it looks like Cliff and Jenny are sitting right there.
Hey, wait a minute. That's Lady Luck. Get the gun! I got
it! Cliff takes the rocket so he can get to Jenny before the gangsters do. At the club, Cliff disguises himself as a waiter to not raise suspicions. He tries to convince Jenny about what's going on at first. She doesn't believe him, but it takes a kiss to get it through her head.
Not doing it! Oh, really?
Not doing it. I don't like Wayne's World.
Pistachio.
The chase begins as Cliff runs from Neville and his gang within the restaurant as he escapes using the rocket up through the laundry chute. As the restaurant goes berserk, Cliff flies around the restaurant and Jenny saves him from Lothar.
See, this is exactly why...
I'm going to court.
What?
Don't ask.
Either way, now I'm intrigued.
I bet you are. Ooh, can I have one?
Asian candies.
Anyway, that is exactly why superhero girlfriends need to stay put when they're fucking told to stay put. Otherwise, we get shit like Gwen Stacy.
Makes for better videos, too.
Oh, I got gypped.
Have you?
No. Vestiges.
He actually got gypped.
And the Rocketeer makes his escape the best way he can.
No surprise, but it's yet another superhero movie with no respect for glass ceilings. But anyway, Neville, of course, uses chloroform to take and kidnap Jenny. After his disturbing, creepy seduction, Jenny tricks him and knocks him out. Jenny finds out his big, dark secret.
Oh my God. Neville Sinclair is a...
Nazis! No surprise.
Some surprise.
I like your hat.
I mean, you got 007, who's now actually a Nazi. It's a little scary.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Cliff is called and demanded to be somewhere or they will kill Jenny. The FBI show up and arrest Cliff, bringing him to Hughes. Hughes would demand the rocket back, and we would then see a short video of Germany's real plan on why they want the rocket so badly.
And now after Hughes and the FBI try to force Cliff to give back the rocket, ignoring the fact that Jenny's life is at stake, the meeting goes awry because, well, Neville Sinclair is now revealed to be a Nazi. And more Nazis join the party, and now we have federales shooting side by side with gangsters at Nazis. Seems good, I guess. And of course, Neville forces Jenny up into the blimp. And of course, well, maybe I should say Zeppelin. And Cliff makes his way up, saving the day. My only problem with this scene is the fact that the rocket is shooting fire towards the, you know, hydrogen-filled, like, bubble. And it didn't blow up. Yay, logic.
Aboard the blimp, Cliff ends up coming face to face with Lothar, which ends quickly as it gives us some comedic irony.
Do not worry, Herr Sinclair. My pilot is the finest in Germany. We are in very capable hands. He will not let us down.
As Cliff gives Neville the rocket, Jenny sets herself free by attacking her captor, starting an all-out fistfight all over the blimp. Jenny shoots a flare stupidly, setting the blimp on fire. Neville tries to make his getaway with the rocket that is shown to be damaged, and it doesn't go so well.
And of course now we have a pretty quick summary of two lovers saying their final goodbyes, dramatically getting saved by Howard Hughes and Peavy as the, well, wannabe Hindenburg goes down. And then Hughes presents Cliff with his own plane and says thanks for all he did. And we end with another kiss and a zoom out before the credits roll, along with PV walking around with schematics, trying to basically say that, hey, we could rebuild the rocket and make a sequel, which they never did.
So there you have my summer of Disney. Hope you enjoyed 3 months of Disney superhero-ness. Next month will probably be something different.
Can I go home now? I just want to go fucking shower.
Sure!
Wait, hold on, I gotta change my shirt.
Ah, it's cold!